You kata you nak tanya soalan?
Oh yeah, what about that Sabahan punya mahasiswa
Right.
yang the bakar yang itu. What do you think?
Oh, you mean the effigy?
Yes.
That was in Sabah last weekend, right?
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I think the student these days, new generation, the Mahasiswa, they got internet, All they have to do is they browse to find out what is the most effective way to get attention.
Yeah.
And they probably use
ChatGPT?
AI lah,
Okay.
and says, okay, do this, and it is lawful. And after all, Anwar, your prime minister, have done it before. He used to burn books written by the first prime minister called May 13.
That's right.
So I think that's the first. But most importantly, you must ask the question, why are the students so upset? And I think part of the reason is because he has not been doing a good job as a prime minister, from the economics point of view, from the Malay support point of view, from the reform point of view, and also the public sentiment. Now, if you look at the economy-wise, our ringgit is still very weak. Our public debt has increased by 200 billion ever since he took over. Our GDP, for example, for the first quarter of 2025, has shrunk to 4.4% from over 5%. And then you have e-invoices, which is very impractical for the small, medium enterprise. The Chinese hates it. And then you have the SST, ada yang 8%, 10%, all over the place, GST, you do it at 4%, it's much easier. Of course, these are economic numbers. And then you have reform, I mean, there's rasuah everywhere. He seems to use the MACC, the AG, the IGP, the MACC to his benefit, instead of reforming so that these people are independent. For example, now, the new judges are coming aboard. I think all four of them has to be advised by him to the king, And of course, people are saying this is probably for the Yusof router matter, because then he can ask the judge. These are the impression, it may not be true. But if he already done the reform, then there will be judicial independence, that he has no part in deciding who's the judges. You know what I mean? So this is the problem. Kalau Yusof router punya matter, he can tell the judge, boleh tak you tolong cancel, just make it disappear. And suddenly, there's no case. Because Anwar is immune or kebal, which it is not in the constitution, but he may be able to tell the judge, say lah something, And so that is part of the problem, And again, the Sabah fellas, they are upset because, GRS has mounting evidence of the corruption in mining business, But yet, nothing is done. And yet Anwar talk about, lawan corruption. So what is this? What's happening? And of course, after so many years, 32 months or 33 months now, he has not been able to get Malay support. I mean, the Malay punya support is extremely important because that's 70% of the population of the country. And in his 148 unity government ministers or MPs, only 50 are Malays. So it's not proportionate. And if you look at the state representative, PAS ada 140, and his amanah only got 8 or 11 state representatives. So it is not representative, it's not balanced, It is skewed towards non-Malays more than Malays for him. So it's difficult. Now your question would be, why did this happen? I would say because Anwar is so used to lying. He's probably been doing it for a long time. You know, he was so good at pidato, lawan, So to the point that he tried to lie and people believe him. And he probably say, betul ke dia orang ni percaya ke aku? Then he keep doing it and they keep believing him. Then it become ritual for him to go up there and talk about, kita turunkan harga minyak. And people just go, yeah. So, and then he again, it become his own belief. He believe it, that he can do it. Until he become delusional between what is real and what I would call for him is alternate facts. That means it's not even true what he's saying, And because of that, he has become someone who did not make up for whatever he promised. And that's bad for the country. It's very sad. Then there's public sentiments, inflation. He doesn't know, or he doesn't feel the pain, because he doesn't know what that means. And there's a lot of dissatisfaction lah, Gaji naik RM10, harga barang naik 12. He doesn't know that. And then public debt naik sampai 200 billion, dia kata dia dah reduce 20 billion. I mean, mind the math, but he knows what he's talking about, but he just tried to lie. You can't lie all the time to all people. You can lie sometimes, as he said, to some people, but you can't lie to all people all the time. So what does Anwar need to do? He needs to get it right. He get to put his mental in order. There's some kind of disorder there, You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is, in a way, he's a bit not right lah, sick, I mean, going after all those Yusof router, going after Bude dalam jail, those things, fixing judges. I mean, I'm not saying that he's doing it, but the impression is that, and things are so difficult. Allah say, if you practice things that he cursed, dia laknat, then if we put him as a leader, then it is our job to tell him, please sir, let's put this on the right track. You may be the prime minister, but you are beneath Allah. And Allah says, I will laknat you if you practice this kind of habit. And please, don't take me wrong, but I believe our country need to be in the right direction. Our leader need to be in order, the mental, so that we can get on the right path. Otherwise, Allah only laknat two type of person, two type of group, the Zionists and those that practice sodomy. Assalamualaikum. Do I sound, that's it.